Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everybody. Again for this lecture, perhaps going to be the last one for asynchronous teaching and learning. This one I'm going to explain under the topic of oxidative stress. So oxidative stress during exercise. So that's the topic for this week. So I explained earlier, perhaps in one of your topic, which is the under the topic of exercise and immunity, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, under the topic of exercise and immunity, I already explained to you how exercise can induce oxidative stress, and this is very much in correlation with with the previous topic of exercise and immunity, but for this one we will focus on explaining how oxidative stress occur when someone's doing exercise. Okay. So basically, if you remember, one of the video that I sent to you, that I asked you to watch, that's very important. You have to of reactive oxygen species. Okay, which ROS or reactive oxygen species can be produced by two pathways, which are the endogenous and exogenous. So for endogenous, it is created by via someone's performing exercise, particularly endurance, where when someone exercising in a prolonged manner and the body in the selecting fuel will utilize oxygen or will produce ATP using the oxidative phosphorylation, and these pathways of creating ATP of oxidative phosphorylation will involve with electron transport chain, and when exchange of electron in certain biomarkers, this will produce oxidative species, reactive hydrogen peroxide, superoxide, and those sort of things. Okay, I will explain to you this later. And apart from that, inflammation also can lead to the creation of reactive oxygen species, where the neutrophil and leukocyte acts to engulf the bacteria or any debris, can also produce reactive oxygen species. Okay, apart from exercise itself, okay, prolonged exercise. Okay, leukocyte or response of the body in fighting debris and bacteria, even viruses, which also in relation or very much in correlates with inflammation. When there's a neutrophil and leukocyte reaction in your body, of course your body will potentially become inflamed, and that will leads to the creation of reactive oxygen species. And then the second way of body producing ROS is via the exogenous. Example of exogenous production of ROS is because of pollution, exposed to certain chemicals, and then smoke from the cigar can also be radiation. Okay, I provide you with the YouTube link explaining how endogenous and exogenous way of producing ROS or oxygen species in your body in this link below. Perhaps I already attached this in the video. We have watched this. I really recommend you to watch it again to get a better understanding and to emphasize your understanding on particular topic. So again, ROS like a nuclear. Okay, it will keep on taking electrons from other metabolites or any other molecules in your body and end up for you to have inefficient physiological system, and to to severe extent it can create cancer, tumor cancer. And then yeah. Okay, why this is not popped out? Okay, yeah, let me just take this again, open this again. Don't save. I might need to open it again. Presume. Okay, oh yeah, because it's disconnected just now. My hard drive is disconnected. Okay, so yeah, so some introduction about oxidative stress. This is what I meant just now. Reaction that occur during the electron transport chain in the oxidative phosphorylation pathways in producing ATP. This is what happened. So oxygen molecule. Let me just enlarge this. Okay, oxygen. Of course, when we talk about oxidative phosphorylation, it will involve oxygen, and the body will only utilize these pathways during the aerobic activities. So oxygen is utilized where reduction occur throughout before transporting the molecule to the ATP production. Okay, the ATP generator, it has to undergo electron transport chain. This is what happened. Okay, exchange of electron will occur to produce adenosine triphosphate, and along the way of oxygen in producing ATP, it will expose to certain, it will undergo certain stages where the oxygen will reduce by taking electron in it and become superoxide, and then the next stage become hydrogen peroxide, and then the third stage become a hydroxyl radical before it can become water. And then the molecule of carbohydrate respond to carbohydrate will generate ATP by inserting phosphate in the adenosine diphosphate to become adenosine triphosphate. So this is what happened during the oxidative phosphorylation. But however, along the way to produce energy from oxygen to H2O, H2O is a byproduct of oxidative phosphorylation together with carbon dioxide. Along the way, Okay, along the way of oxygen is utilized. Sometimes the reaction didn't appear or didn't respond in appropriate manner. This will say did not complete. Okay, not always it can complete, and there the reactive oxygen species will generate it because of the incomplete reaction. Okay, so oxidative stress is a condition of reactive oxygen species accumulation in your body throughout the reaction chain, and then the process occur mostly from electron transport chain of the oxidative phosphorylation, producing ATP in the mitochondria. So generally, when we talk about oxidative phosphorylation, it occurs in mitochondria. So this picture here, okay, explain the process of generating ATP in the cystine of mitochondria. Okay, the layer in the mitochondria, cystine of mitochondria. And then a diagram on the left, this one shows a normal reduction process of ATP formation. So interruption in between this process will produce reactive oxygen species. So when reactive oxygen species is produced, it will, as I explained, we keep on acting like a nuclear in the body, where it will keep on stealing electron around the body and makes the physiological system works inefficient. Okay, and if it's reached to the cellular level, it will potentially create become cancerous to the cell itself. Okay, so there's a way for the body to stop this reaction, and I will explain later. So how is reactive oxygen species produced? In exercise, in fact, mainly ROS will produce in electron transport chain, as I explained earlier. Okay, and then these ROS, especially superoxide and hydroxyl radical, are so reactive and steal electron from other molecules to produce chain series of reactive oxygen production. So keep on stealing. And yeah, this is what I explained just now. And this is what we call the oxidative stress. So the activity of reactive oxygen species stealing electron from other molecule or other ion in the body, that what we call it as the oxidative stress. So this need to be stopped. So superoxide dismutase (SOD) is an enzyme that alternately catalyzes this mutation of superoxide radical into ordinary molecular oxygen and hydrogen peroxide. So superoxide dismutase is the molecule in the body. Perhaps you can consume it and the body can produce itself. And this superoxide dismutase, or simply we can recognize it as SOD, is the molecule that stop the reduction to further happen, okay, in within the cell or within the body in general. So yeah, we need this superoxide dismutase to stop the chain reaction. Okay, so however, hydrogen peroxide are still dangerous, which two of this molecule, okay, two of hydrogen peroxide molecule, when combined together, will turn into hydroxyl radical, which is even more dangerous and cannot be eliminated via enzyme. So we need to avoid two molecule of hydroxyl, hydrogen peroxide to come together, because hydroxyl radical is dangerous, and hydroxyl radical is the one that will what we call it as a free radical in the body that can alter the system of your body, okay, alter the system and body, and to a worse extent, it can leads to a cancerous activity in the cell. So reactive oxygen species is unpaired molecule, iron that is reactive. This is what I mentioned just now. So these three are the reactive oxygen species, which are superoxide, hydrogen peroxide. Superoxide is dangerous. Hydrogen peroxide is not dangerous, but only will become dangerous when it combines with itself, where hydrogen peroxide will become hydroxyl radical. See, this is the hydroxyl radical is the most dangerous type of ROS. No enzyme can combat this unless antioxidant. Okay, and you have to get an antioxidant from food consumed to stop from further chain reaction to happen within the cell, within the body. So I also attach you with the electron transport chain in induced reactive oxygen species. This is actually a video that further explains what happened here. Okay, what happened in here. And then ROS and antioxidant. You can watch this. I will attach this video for you to watch and understand. This is rather important. Yeah. And how to combat reactive oxygen species is through antioxidant. So glucose donate electron via pentose phosphate pathways, PPP pathways, during the glycolysis. Okay, during the glycolysis, and reduce the glutathione that contains electrons from the glucose, hence react with hydrogen peroxide to produce water. So the glutathione, it exists in your body. Perhaps you can even consume it, okay, from your diet, and this glutathione will stop the reactive oxygen species to further happen by changing the hydrogen peroxide to H2O, okay, as shown in the box here. Hydrogen peroxide will change to H2O when there is a glutathione. Glutathione itself will take the electron during the glucose 6-phosphate or during the pentose phosphate pathways, during the pentose phosphate pathways, the PPP pathways of glucose consumption. Okay, so that's one of the way how we can stop the production of ROS, stop the chain reaction of the ROS, particularly hydroxyl radical. Okay. From H2O2, from hydrogen peroxide to become hydroxyl radical. Okay. So glutathione. Yeah. So other way to combat ROS is to avoid hydrogen peroxide from reacting to iron. Okay. And so when we avoid hydrogen peroxide reacting to ferrous iron, okay, so hydrogen peroxide will be directly turned into H2O, because if not, it will become hydroxyl radical. For this, the body needs some mineral, for example, magnesium, selenium, zinc, and copper. Okay. This mineral will support the antioxidant system to ensure superoxide and peroxidase dismutase enzyme function properly. So we need this mineral to avoid hydrogen peroxide from reacting to ferrous iron, because once it's combined with ferrous iron, it will take electron. It will donate iron reduction, donate iron to hydrogen peroxide, and hydrogen peroxide will become hydroxyl radical. So that's the reaction happen. So we need this mineral because this is more potentially to take electron rather than donate electron compared to ferrous iron. And it will help in generating more peroxide dismutase enzyme, the SOD, in order to stop from the chain reaction to further occur. So that's for today. Thank you very much.